This is a book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 16. Terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O that thou dwell in the cliffs of the rocks, that thou is the heights of the hills. Though thou make thou nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, said Yahweh. I'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give all glory and honors and praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz, and I said once again, thou's terribleness have deceived thee, of thou dwell in his cliffs of the rock. The so-called white man, this is his time that he's going to be judged and by Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. This is his time. Turn to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 30, verse 2. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus say Yahweh power, how ye worth the day, for the day is near, even the day of Yahweh is near, a cloudy day. It shall be a time for the heathen, okay? And I'm dealing with the so-called white man, okay? This is the seasons and times where Yahweh Shah is going to visit this man, visit the earth that he made, okay? So what our job is to keep our integrity and keep our posture and keep calling on Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so we can make it out of these tribulations. Because through much tribulations, we're going to enter into the kingdom. Let's get it. Turn to the book of Acts. The book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must do much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of power. Okay, so do much tribulations, we're going to enter into the kingdom of power. Okay, this is a time where the so-called white man is going to be judged. Okay, and if you want to make it out with your life, you have to keep calling on the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and have this full doctrine attack so you can make it out with your life, okay? 2/3 are not going to make it, okay? They're going to be destroyed on this side. Let's get it. And I said this in my other video. The book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. For thus Yahweh of hosts, after the glory he hath sent me unto the nations, which spoil you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. Okay, so they fucked up on this one. Okay, the so-called white man fucked up on this one. He didn't think things through. Okay, he's going to be destroyed and eradicated. Okay, what we need to do is have integrity and call upon Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's what we need to have. the book of Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, say Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call upon my name, and I shall hear them. I shall say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power, okay? That's what this thing's about, okay? And this is a plague that's going to consume all the nations that fought against Jerusalem, okay? Thermonuclear destruction. Zechariah 14, verse 12. This shall be the plague wherein Yahweh will smite all the people and have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay. I don't know about you, but I don't want to get put to death such in a violent fashion. I want to make it out on this midnight train in Georgia out of here, okay? And we already, like we discussed on multiple occasions, we already boarding stages right now. We are at pre-boarding stages for the midnight train in Georgia out of here. And if you want to make it out with your life, you have to call upon Yahweh Shai. The book of Ezekiel 25, verse 12. This is Yahweh power, because thou, Edom, have taken against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and have revenged himself on them. Therefore, thus say Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom. I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my hand against, and according to my fury. And they shall know that my vengeance, says Yahweh power. Okay, so that's what this thing's about, okay? Okay, so one moment. This is a book of Ezekiel 32, verse 2. Son of man, take thou lamentations for the king of Egypt and say unto him, now the Egypt here is the so-called white man, okay, because the Egyptian empire was in power. And this is talking about the so-called white man. Thou is like a young lion of the nation. Thou art a wailing in the sea, and thou camest forth as the rivers, and troubles the waters with thy feet, and foulest the rivers. Thus said Yahweh power, I will therefore spread out my net over thee, and with a company of many people, and they shall bring thee up up in my net. Then shalt thou, then will I leave thee upon the land, and I will cast thee upon the open field, and cause thee the fowls of heaven, and the and will upon thee, and I will fill thee with the beasts of the field, the whole earth with thee. I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fling those and fill thy valleys with those heights. I will also water up the blood, and therewith thou swimmeth even to the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of thee. And I shall put thee out. I will cover the heavens and make the stars therein dark, and I will cover the sun and with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All this bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon those lands, said Yahweh power. I will also vex the hearts of many people when I shall destroy without destruction among the nations into the countries which thou hast not known. Yea, I shall make many people at, at thee, and their kings shall be horribly afraid for thee when I brandish my sword before them, and every man trembling for his moment, every man trembling for his life in the day of Yah's fall. For thus say Yahweh power, the sword of the king of Babylon shall come upon thee. By the sword of the mighty will I cause thou multitudes to fall, to fall, the terrible of those nations, of all them, and they shall spoil the pomp of Egypt, and the multitude thereof shall be destroyed. I will destroy also the beasts thereof out of the beside the great waters, neither shall thou foot of man trouble them any more, not the host of a beast troubles them. So Yahweh Shah is going to destroy this man when this thing goes down. And if you want to make it out with your life, like we discussed on multiple occasions, you have to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. The book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 10. Be it known unto all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahweh Mashiach the Nazarene, whom ye crucified, whom power has raised from the dead, even by him, both this man stands before you whole. This is the stone that was rejected, that was set at none of you builders, which has become the corner. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Okay, so there's no other name given unto men that we must be saved. The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 5. Let his mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushai, who being who being is a former power, thought it not robbery to be equally with power, but have but made himself no reputation, and took upon himself a form of a servant, and made his likeness unto men. And being found fashioned as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even death of the cross. Wherefore power has highly exalted him, and hath given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahweh every knee shall bow, of things in heaven and things on earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Mashiach is Lord, the glory of power, the Father. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye always obeyed in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, so we have to work out our salvation in fear and trembling. Okay, and they say the same things over and over and over again is safety for you. Okay, so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down. The book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 1. Finally, my beloved, my brethren, rejoice in Yahweh. To write the same thing to you, to me, indeed, is not grievous, but it is safe. Okay? So that's what this thing's about. Okay? So if you want to make it out with your life, when this thing goes down, you got to call upon Yahweh Shai. Okay? The book of Daniel, chapter 5, verse 24. The of him and was written, and now this is the writing that was written, meaning tekel, you parson. This is the interpretation of the thing, meaning power has numbered thou's kingdom, and it is finished. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balance, and thou art found wanting. Parson, thou's kingdom is divided and given unto the Medes and to the Persians. Okay, so that's what this thing is about. Okay, that's what this thing is about. The book of Jeremiah 46, verse 27. But fear not, thou my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save thee from afar off, thou seed from the land of the captivity. And Jacob shall return and be at rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, said Yahweh, for I am with thee. For I am with thee, for I will make a full end of all the nations, whether I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Yet I will not leave thee wholly unpunished. Okay, so Yahweh Shai, although he's going to destroy our enemies, okay, Yahweh Shai is going to get out of that last butt whooping in on us. Okay, we're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, but we're going to be. Okay, one moment here. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 22. For I will arise against them, said Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name of the remnant and the sons and nephews, said Yahweh. I will also make a possession for those bitter and pools of water, and I sweep it with the besom of destruction, said Yahweh of hosts. Now that besom of destruction is going into those thermonuclear weapons. Okay, when that besom of destruction, that wall of fire is just sweeping everything upon the land. Okay, seek Yahweh Shai while you still can. The wicked need to forsake their wicked lifestyle and turn unto their power, so He can have mercy on them. You don't want to taste of that besom of destruction. The book of Isaiah, chapter 31. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice upon them that shaketh the hands, that they may go unto the gates unto the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even of them that were dryness. The noise of the multitude in the mountains are like a great people, tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustered up the hosts of the battle. They come from a faraway country, the ends of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his nation to destroy the whole land. Okay, that's destroyed America. Okay, thermonuclear destruction is going to hit this place and destroy it. Okay, and if you don't want to be caught on the left hand side and get put to death violently, like I said, you better come back into this doctrine of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, lest you're going to get put to death violently. That's what this is about. How ye for the day of Yahweh is for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It is a day of destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, when thou's hands shall be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them, and they shall be in as a woman travels. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Here's the point. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, and to lay the land desolate and to destroy the sinners that are out of it, okay? To destroy the sinners that are out of it, okay? That's what this is about. Turn to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 1. Woe unto thee, O Babylon, O Asia. Woe unto thee, O Egypt and Syria. Gird up thyself, gird up thy sackcloths, and hair, bewail thy children, and be sorry, for thy destruction is at hand. The so-called white man's destruction is at hand. If a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is quenched among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent among you, and who may drive it away? May any man drive away a hungry lion that is in the woods, or may anyone quench the fiery stubble when it is given up and begins to burn? May anyone turn again the arrow that is shot from a mighty archer? The mighty Yahweh sends the plagues, and who is he that drives them away? At a fire shall go forth thou's wrath, and who shall it may be that quenches it? The book of 2nd Ezra, chapters 15, verse 1. Oh, speak unto the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thou mouth, said Yahweh, and will cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, and let not the ingenuity of them that trouble thee speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay, so that's what this thing's about. That's what this thing's all about. So, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 60. So Jeremiah wrote in a book all the evil that shall come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said unto Sareas, when thou comest to Babylon, and thou shalt see and read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Yahweh, thou hast spoken against this place to cut off that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. And it shall be when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it and cast it into the Euphrates. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink and shall not rise again. The evil that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. So we have the seasons and times where Yahweh is visiting the so-called white man, okay, for his insolence. And too, okay, let's get it. The book of, and I'm talking about, when I say the nigga, I'm not talking about our beloved sisters, okay? I'm talking about the 2/3 nigga woman. She's going to go down with this man. The book of Meek, the 7, verse 10. Then shalt thou, then shalt thou, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which says unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? My eyes shall see and behold her, and now shall she be trodden down as mire in the streets, okay? So the so-called nigga, you're going to go down with the so-called white man when this thing goes down, okay? Because her heart and soul belongs to the so-called white man. Okay, coming back over here, moving on. Turn to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, chapter Salakia, verse 15. Behold, thou shalt say, where is the words of Yahweh? Let it now come. For as thou hast hastened for being a pasture follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me, that thou art my hope in the day of evil. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil and destroy them with double the destruction. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, destroy the so called white man with double the destruction. Okay, bring upon this man the evil day. And I'll get you my closeout scripture. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 16. Thou words was found, I did eat them, and thou word was found, was given unto me the joy and rejoice in my heart, for I am called by thou's name, O Yahweh, power of hosts. I sat not in the assembly of mockers, nor rejoice. I sat alone of thou's hand, for thou hast filled me with the indignation. Why is my pain is perpetual and my wound incurable, which I refuse to be healed? Wouldst thou be altogether to me a liar and as a water that fails? Therefore, thus said Yahweh, if thou return, then I will bring thee again. And if thou shalt stand before me, and if thou take forth my precious of thy vows, and shall be as my mouth, let them return unto thee, but not return unto them. And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, say Yahweh, to save thee and to deliver thee, say Yahweh. I will deliver thee out of the hands of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hands of the terrible. Hopefully you was well edified. I like to give all glory and honors and praise to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.